As we grow older, our view of life begins to shift. We start to understand that it's not the achievements or the recognition that matter most. It's the quiet moments, the meaningful connections, and the peace we feel within ourselves. For those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond, caring for our mental and emotional well-being becomes just as important as looking after our physical health. It's what helps us greet each day with a sense of calm, contentment, and a deeper appreciation for the life we've lived and the time we still have. One of the most effective ways to protect your peace of mind is to be selective about the people you allow into your life. Not everyone brings positive energy or contributes to making your later years more fulfilling. Some individuals may bring stress, exhaustion, and even diminished mental well-being. Unfortunately, those people can sometimes be family members or longtime friends. So how can you preserve the peace you deserve? The key is to stay aware of unhealthy relationships and be willing to set necessary boundaries. Remember, distancing yourself from those who have a negative impact is not selfish. It is an act of self-love, a crucial step toward fully enjoying life. In today's video, we will explore 5 types of people you should limit contact with or avoid as you age to maintain peace of mind and make life more meaningful. Don't forget to hit like if you find this content helpful, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos. 1. The manipulator. Learn how to protect your peace. As we age, we cherish peace and emotional balance even more. However, maintaining these things is not always easy, especially when we encounter individuals with manipulative tendencies. These people do not always reveal their true nature right away. Instead, they often disguise themselves under the appearance of needing help or being part of a close emotional relationship. At first, they may make you believe they genuinely need you, a small favor here, a seemingly insignificant request for help. If you are someone who is used to being a source of support for others, you can easily get caught in a never-ending cycle of assistance. You begin to feel that helping them is your duty, your responsibility. But over time, their dependence can become excessive, leaving you emotionally and physically drained. Imagine this: a quiet afternoon. You're enjoying a warm cup of coffee, feeling relaxed and reflecting on the life you've lived. Suddenly, your phone rings. On the other end, a relative or a friend needs your help with something simple, something they could easily do themselves. You agree, thinking it's just a small favor. But then the requests keep coming, more frequently and persistently. Over time, you realize they only reach out to you when needed. Moreover, they are incredibly skilled at making you feel responsible for helping them. If you refuse, they make you feel selfish or uncaring. They always create a sense of urgency, making it difficult to say no without feeling guilty. The relationship becomes increasingly unbalanced. As time passes, you slowly lose the freedom to live on your terms. It is crucial to recognize this pattern before it continues for too long. Manipulators rely on your reluctance to confront them because they know you value harmony and don't want to hurt anyone. But remember, setting boundaries does not mean you are unkind. It is a way to protect yourself. Your time, energy, and emotions are valuable assets that deserve to be safeguarded. To deal with manipulators, you must establish clear boundaries. If someone repeatedly asks for favors, have the confidence to say, "I'm sorry, but I can't help this time." You don't need to explain or justify yourself. You are simply protecting your peace. Ask yourself, is this relationship bringing positivity into my life or just leaving me feeling drained? A genuine relationship is always built on mutual respect and care. It is a connection between two people where both are heard, understood, and sincerely supported. However, not everyone treats you this way. Some relationships only leave you feeling drained, robbing you of joy and forcing you to sacrifice too much without receiving anything in return except exhaustion. If someone sees you only as a resource to exploit, a pillar to lean on whenever they need support, but never considers your feelings, it's time to reassess their place in your life. Don't let the fear of disappointing others keep you trapped in relationships that are not worth your time and energy. Your kindness is a precious gift, a reflection of the compassionate heart and generous spirit you have nurtured throughout your life. But that does not mean you should allow others to take advantage of it without appreciation. No one has the right to take your help for granted or pressure you into sacrificing yourself for them. You have the right to choose the people who truly deserve to be part of your life. Spend your time with those who genuinely appreciate your presence and make you feel loved, rather than drained or taken advantage of. A truly meaningful relationship is not one where you struggle to be recognized, but one where you can be yourself, without fear of judgment or exploitation. Learning to say no to manipulators, controlling individuals, or those who only take without ever giving is essentially saying yes to yourself. When you set boundaries and protect your peace, you show respect for yourself and your worth, and that is a choice you should make every day. Not out of selfishness, but because you deserve to live a happy and peaceful life. 2. The irresponsible learn to let go of burdens that are not yours. The later years of life should be a time to enjoy, care for yourself, and focus on the things that bring you joy. This is not the time to continue carrying the burdens of others, especially those who are irresponsible. Some people are constantly facing problems in life, from financial struggles to personal relationships, and are always looking to you for help. At first, they may promise that it's just temporary assistance, that this will be the last time. But soon you realize this cycle keeps repeating. Every time they encounter difficulties, they turn to you with pleas or empty promises, and you continue to help out of kindness. However, irresponsibility is not just about failing to fulfill one's duties. It's a habit of shifting the consequences of one's actions onto others. These individuals often know that you have a kind heart, that you are always willing to help, and they do not hesitate to take advantage of that. But remember, you are not obligated to fix the mistakes they repeat. If they truly wanted to change, they would find a way to resolve their problems, instead of constantly seeking temporary solutions from others. If someone comes to you asking for money or financial help, have the confidence to say, "I can't support you financially, but I can help in another way." Do not allow yourself to become a lifeline for those unwilling to steer their ship. Everyone must take responsibility for their own life. Protect the peace you have spent a lifetime building. You deserve to experience tranquility and serenity in your later years, rather than carrying burdens not yours to bear. Imagine this. You have a family member who repeatedly faces financial troubles, constantly making poor decisions or getting involved in problematic relationships. Whenever they find themselves in a difficult situation, they turn to you, perhaps to borrow money, ask for help, or simply expect you to clean up their mess. They always promise, "This will be the last time." They've learned their lesson. They'll change. But in reality, time passes, and the cycle continues endlessly. At first you help, because you believe it's the right thing to do, a responsibility as a family member. But over time, you start feeling exhausted, questioning whether your help benefits them or enables their irresponsibility. You begin to wonder, am I helping them get back on their feet, or am I just making them more dependent on me? Irresponsibility is not just about laziness or indecisiveness. It is the refusal to face the consequences of one's actions, and instead, shifting that burden onto others. People like this are skilled at taking advantage of the kindness of others, especially those with compassionate hearts who genuinely want to help. They know that you care and that you struggle to turn your back on them, and they use that to escape their responsibilities. They may try to make you feel guilty if you refuse to help. They might say things like, "How could you treat me this way?" Or "Are you really that heartless?" All to break your resolve and make you give in once again. But don't let these words deceive you. Helping someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own life is not an act of kindness. It enables their irresponsibility. You cannot save someone unwilling to stand on their own. If you notice that someone constantly turns to you to solve their problems, instead of taking responsibility for their own life, It's time to set boundaries. Help in ways that do not harm you. Sometimes the best way to help is to let them face the consequences of their actions. You are not obligated to carry the weight of problems that others create. Protect your peace and balance because you deserve it. So how do you deal with irresponsible people? Set clear boundaries. You are not obligated to take on other people's problems. If someone frequently comes to you for financial help, be firm and say, "I'm sorry, but I can't help this time." You don't need to provide explanations. Your boundaries deserve respect. Let go of guilt. Irresponsible people may try to make you feel ashamed or accuse you of not caring about them, but caring for someone does not mean sacrificing your peace. Learning to say no does not make you a bad person. It simply helps protect your life. Support in a way that doesn't harm you. Instead of offering a quick solution, encourage them to take responsibility for their actions. If they truly want to change, they'll find ways to improve their situation rather than relying on your help. Offer advice, offer guidance. But don't allow yourself to become the one who always has to fix their life. Protect your peace. You've worked hard your entire life to achieve stability and tranquility. Don't let others disrupt that simply because they failed to plan for their future. Put yourself first, because you deserve a peaceful life free from the burdens of others. Finally, remember this: you are not a lifeline for those who refuse to learn how to swim. Your peace is precious, and you have every right to protect it. 3. The ungrateful. When kindness goes unappreciated as we enter the later stages of life, one of the greatest joys is the ability to give, whether it's our time, our wisdom, or the love we've gathered through the years. But few things are more disheartening than when that kindness is taken for granted, treated as an obligation, or even met with criticism. Ungrateful people can take away the joy of helping and sharing. Imagine this. You spend hours preparing dinner for your family, putting your heart into every dish, hoping to bring warmth and togetherness. But instead of appreciation, you only hear complaints. Why did you make so little today? This doesn't taste as good as before. Or perhaps you sacrifice an entire day to help a friend, yet instead of a simple thank you, you receive indifference, as if your effort was nothing more than what they expected of you. Ingratitude is not just about forgetting to say thank you. It goes much deeper. It's the feeling that your time, your effort, and your generosity are neither acknowledged nor valued. When this happens again and again, it can leave you feeling drained, disheartened, robbed of the joy of giving. You may wonder, did I do something wrong? Am I offering kindness to the wrong people? But please remember, other people's ingratitude does not define your worth. Their lack of appreciation does not diminish the sincerity of your kindness. In fact, it says more about who they are than it does about you. You do not need to change or stop helping others just because some people fail to appreciate it. So how do you deal with ungrateful people without letting it affect your spirit and emotions? The most important thing is this: set boundaries. Not everyone deserves your help, and not every sacrifice you make will be met with gratitude. Be selective about whom you support and spend your time with those who truly appreciate your presence. You deserve to be surrounded by people who are grateful, respectful, and appreciative of you. Because when kindness is given to the right people, it not only brings joy to them, it fills you with happiness, lightness, and a deeper sense of purpose. How to deal with ungrateful people. Acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel disappointed. When your kindness is taken for granted, don't push those feelings away, accept them. Let yourself feel and take time to reflect on the situation with compassion for yourself. Reevaluate the relationship. Ask yourself, does this person truly appreciate me? Do they bring anything positive into my life? If the answer is no, it may be time to set clear boundaries to protect your heart. Limit your help. If someone consistently takes your help for granted, begin to gently step back. You might say, I've realized I need to spend more time on things that make me happy. Simple, kind, true. Spend time with those who appreciate you. Don't exhaust yourself trying to please those who don't value you. Instead, Focus on relationships that bring genuine appreciation and love. Being around grateful people will uplift you and prevent you from being taken advantage of. And above all, always remember, kindness is a priceless gift. Not everyone deserves it. When you offer sincerity and compassion, it should be given to those who value it, and return it with respect. Not everyone understands what you give. Some people treat kindness like a right rather than a blessing. And if you're not careful, your generosity can become a weight, something that quietly wears you down day by day. That is why boundaries are so important. Choosing the right people to support helps you maintain your peace, and it nurtures deeper, healthier relationships. Kindness never loses its value, but it becomes far more meaningful when given to the right people at the right time. You have the right to decide who is truly worthy of your care, and most importantly, you have the right to protect yourself from relationships that do not offer the respect and sincerity you so deeply deserve. 4. The self-centered. When a relationship becomes unbalanced, the later years of life offer a precious opportunity to deepen connections, share wisdom, and nurture relationships that bring genuine fulfillment. This stage should be a time of mutual respect, understanding, and meaningful companionship. But sadly, not all relationships nourish us. Some people may be physically present, but emotionally distant, so consumed by their own concerns, ambitions, and desires, they fail to acknowledge the feelings and experiences of those around them. These individuals, often marked by narcissistic tendencies, have a way of making every interaction revolve around themselves. Their need for attention, admiration, and validation can become overwhelming, slowly draining the emotional energy of those around them. Instead of building a balanced, supportive connection, they subtly shift conversations back to their own lives, dismissing or diminishing the experiences of others. Over time, this erodes the very foundation of respect and reciprocity that all healthy relationships need. If you find yourself around people like this, you may start to feel invisible, as though your presence and your words hold little weight, as though your thoughts and feelings are always being overshadowed, dismissed, or forgotten. And in later life, when the value of genuine connection becomes even more essential, this kind of dynamic can feel especially painful. Recognizing these patterns is vital, because once you do, you can begin to set the boundaries you need and give your heart to relationships that lift you up rather than wear you down. Imagine this: you're sitting with a family member or a friend, hoping to share a cherished memory. You begin speaking, maybe smiling softly, but before you can finish, they interrupt and steer the conversation back to themselves. You try again, hoping to connect, to find mutual understanding. But once more the spotlight shifts, back to their stories, back to their world. And over time you begin to realize they are always the center of attention. And you are just the listener. Self-centered individuals have a way of captivating attention, often without realizing the space they consume. Their deep longing for recognition drives them to dominate every interaction, even at the cost of others. Whether they do it knowingly or not, the result is the same. Conversations become one-sided. Your voice fades in the background. Your joys and your hurts are never truly heard. You may notice that when you try to share something meaningful, a success, a struggle, even a quiet moment, they interrupt, redirect, or use your words as a stepping stone to launch into their own stories, and in time this pattern can bring deep frustration. You may begin to feel that your voice carries no weight in their world, that you're not really a participant, but a placeholder, a silent witness to their monologue. Even if their behavior isn't cruel in intention, the emotional toll is real. You begin to feel small, as if your presence, your heart is not being honored, and that's not something you should have to endure. In the later chapters of life, relationships like these become heavier. You've experienced so much. You've lived through change, love, pain, laughter, and loss. This is a time to share those stories, to be heard, and to be loved for all that you are. But if your relationships revolve solely around the needs and desires of someone else, while your own heart remains silent and unseen, that is not a relationship. Rooted in balance, a meaningful connection must be built on mutual respect, on listening, on giving and receiving. You deserve to be surrounded by people who appreciate you, who truly see you, who hear your voice and hold space for your experiences. You do not have to stay in relationships that leave you feeling small, unseen, or unheard. Choose to spend your time with those who bring you peace, joy, and shared presence. Your later years should be filled with comfort, not emotional strain. Let your heart be nurtured by those who reflect the love you so willingly give. 5. The critics. When words become a burden, the later years of life should be a time to embrace your true self, to enjoy what you've achieved, and to feel pride in the person you've become. But not everyone will allow you to fully appreciate this sacred stage of life. Some people are always looking for faults, never satisfied. Their words, though, sometimes cloaked as feedback, can carry a sharpness that cuts deeper than they know. They make you feel like you're never quite enough, no matter how much effort you offer. This kind of criticism may come from a friend who comments on your appearance, a family member who questions your decisions, or even a neighbor who constantly compares you to others. At first, a single remark might seem harmless, but when the criticisms pile up, day after day, they create something heavy, an atmosphere, so of judgment, that slowly begins to chip away at your joy and self-confidence. Recognizing this is the first step toward healing and peace. Ask yourself gently, is this criticism meant to help me? Does it come from genuine care, or is it rooted in their own unhappiness or need to control? If the answer is no, then perhaps it's not worth your time or your energy. Not every opinion deserves your attention, and you are never obligated to carry the weight of someone else's judgments. If someone constantly criticizes you, respond not with anger, but with clarity, with self-respect. You might say, I understand your perspective, but I'm happy with my life. You're not being defensive. You're simply affirming your worth. You do not need to reshape yourself to meet the expectations of those who are always looking for flaws. This is your life. You have earned the freedom to walk your path in a way that brings you peace, without explanation or apology. These later years are meant to be full of freedom, of ease, of relationships that uplift, rather than weigh down. You don't have to spend another moment trying to please people who rarely, if ever, see your true value. Even if it feels small in the moment, repeated criticism leaves its mark. It wears away your light and questions your joy. Don't let it take root. Instead, surround yourself with people who speak with kindness, who notice the good, who celebrate your presence and support your spirit. You deserve relationships that accept you, not ones that try to remake you. So if someone continues to make you feel inadequate, if their words constantly make you doubt yourself, it is not your job to fix that. You are enough. You always have been. As we grow older, our priorities change. We stop chasing the things that once seemed urgent. We no longer need to hold on to shallow connections or please everyone. Instead, we seek what truly matters: peace within, meaningful relationships, and a sense of home in our own hearts. At this stage, the people you keep close will shape your days, for better or worse. Some will uplift you, encourage you, and bring light into your life. Others may drain you, judge you, or make you question your worth. Manipulators, the irresponsible, the ungrateful, the self-centered, the critics, none of them deserve your precious time and energy. Letting go of these people is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of self-respect. It is how we care for ourselves after a lifetime of caring for others. You've given so much to those around you. Now it's your time. Time to pour that same love and attention into yourself. Time to release the burdens that were never truly yours. Time to step back gently and let others carry their own responsibilities. You do not need to hold on to relationships that leave you feeling depleted. If someone constantly makes you feel bad, If they take and take without appreciation, dare. To draw the line, you deserve peace, you deserve joy, you deserve relationships that nourish your soul. This is your time, your golden chapter, to relax, to live on your terms, and to let go of the weight of other people's expectations. Life is a beautiful, fleeting journey. And along the way, the people you choose to walk beside you matter deeply. To live a truly fulfilling life, you must first honor yourself by surrounding yourself with those who truly see and cherish you. Healthy relationships bring calm. They offer warmth, understanding, and support. They make life richer. But if a relationship brings only stress, judgment, emptiness, it's a gentle signal. It may not belong in your life any longer. Don't allow these connections to steal your joy or dim your light. Choose peace. Choose people who love you freely and without conditions. You do not need to earn your place in anyone's life. You are already worthy. You are already enough. Thank you for spending this time with us. Your presence means more than you know. If these thoughts resonated with you, we invite you to share your reflections in the comments below. And if your perspective is different, we welcome that too. Every voice adds to our shared wisdom. If you found this message helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, with the notification bell turned on, so you'll never miss what's next. And, most of all, may your days ahead be filled with warmth, grace, and the peace you so deeply deserve.